this one that we didn't think lightning would be as well. And we've got now our severe thunderstorm warnings active, tornado warning that goes until 6:45, and all of that very close to moving across downtown Memphis. As we dove into that, you know what, let's try this, Patrick, as well. Let's see if we can do a cross cut on the interior of that tornado warning zone. Let's do this first. We do have a new thunderstorm warning. I've just pointed out to me in my ear just south of this. I think it may be getting very close to Shelby County. It looks like it is. So part of our severe thunderstorm warning looks like it now is including Shelby County here just to the south.
Yeah, we got a new one for Dyer, Lake, and Lauderdale counties also. So some of our friends have already been paying attention there because, of course, Lauderdale's included in that tornado warning as well. But once again, even if you're in an area that's not seeing that tornado warning right now, these gusty winds that are gusting at least 60 miles per hour already proving to do damage. We're seeing reports of vehicles that are being overturned on interstates. We've gotten reports of a mobile home that's been blown down just outside of the Fox 13 viewing area. And we're also seeing reports of different buildings getting damaged, poles being snapped, and of course all of that is leading to some power outages in parts of eastern Arkansas, and that's going to continue to move toward the east. So it's going to move into some of our more heavily populated areas just within the next hour or so. So we're just keeping you abreast of what's moving, what's going on right now, the damage that it's doing, and what we can expect to see as that gets closer to your neighborhood.
Let's do this. Let's get Shelby County prepared for what's moving in, and then I want to go a little bit deeper into that tornado warning. So right now, and Patrick, we've got a lower screen bar there that's blocking part of that. So yeah, there we go. Let's pick that up. So friends, at Shelby County, get ready. Crittenden County as well. Very densely populated hub of the Mid-South. All of our viewers and neighbors are critical all the way north to south, and we've been dealing with the Missouri Boot Heel. We've been talking about Mississippi County crossing the river. Now let's focus on getting closer to Crittenden and Shelby, because this severe thunderstorm warning is not that far away. Patrick, if you would, let's do a track on the storm here. It's about to move across Shelby. I know that Millington's going to be in that path, and we're talking probably Lakeland and Bartlett. This is going to be, at the moment, it's going to skirt very close to South Haven, Germantown, Cordova, Collierville, but let's go ahead and make some plans here. As this severe thunderstorm warning is crossing, and it could intensify. I expect it to be in Heth at 6:37, West Memphis 7:05, so roughly 30 minutes to West Memphis, and then Millington and Memphis between 7:15 and 7:34. Now this number can be a little confusing because the city of Memphis is a very large area, and we are trying to give you a center point mark for Memphis. You can see it's in the center of the loop. This will likely be in downtown Memphis earlier than 7:34, crossing that river, affecting all that commerce and traffic and Saturday night plans. But on average, we're talking about 7:15 to 7:30 in downtown Memphis, and then on to the east in Fisherville around 8:05. Keep in mind that even if this stays as a severe thunderstorm warning, we're still talking about fierce lightning threats, high winds, and heavy rain, and that wind has been an issue. Now, if we can, Patrick, let's go back into our tornado warning. I'd love to do a cross slice and get into a 3D sort of look internally, maybe close to Osceola Luxora, right where we're seeing our reds to greens, and we'll look inside there for just a moment. One of the things that's been really interesting about this system is it has not been extremely tall. It hasn't been very deep, which is what we're very used to in summertime patterns when we see exploding systems out there. And again, you can see here overall, we're staying under 40,000 feet. And our precipitation and cloud cover looks like it's hovering under 30,000 feet. Most of our rainfall is at 20,000. Now, to give you an idea of some of the things we look for when we're gauging these and studying these, and you can see some of the lightning strikes. Lightning strikes, hail, those types of things normally coincide where we see a spike, where we see this precipitation do a giant, sort of like if you had a piece of cloth and you poked your finger up. That's the convection, that's the storm going higher up in the atmosphere, and that normally generates more electricity, more chances for lightning, more chances for hail. We're not seeing much of that, and again, the results on the ground are almost no hail and very little lightning. So we're seeing a rather flat system here. I've got heavier precipitation now just inside or north of Burleson. You can see how the colors get more pronounced, a deeper orange to red. That means we've got more precipitation occurring here. Going north towards Covington, towards Dyersburg, that part of the storm is heavier rainfall. That's the leading edge. So think about it. That's the leading edge of the storm. We're getting towards the backside of the storm. And what happens when the storm comes by you? You get the heaviest rainfall first. You get that blast of air as the rain is falling, and then you get sort of a secondary scattered rain, a little bit lighter as it passes. So you're looking inside that storm system right now. You're actually looking inside that tornadic storm system right now. Let's put that back into a 2D mode, and we'll go back into how we can measure that at looking from the top down. So again, let's continue to talk about our tornado warning. Ashport, that line is reaching towards you. It's going on towards Ripley, Mississippi. It's going just north of Covington, just south of Dyersburg. So everyone in that region, be aware. Take those precautions. We don't have many basements in the Mid-South. And we've done a lot of research and talked to local home builders about that. We just do not have many basements that are built here. And so we don't have that safe egress, that safe location to get to. And there's a lot of reasons for it. Economics, of course, play a huge role here in the Mid-South, but we don't have that as a safe location. We are very worried about our friends in mobile homes and anyone who's not aware of this storm that's unfolding. So let's make sure we check in with them. I think I've got an update right now from my friend Patrick Pete. Patrick, what's happening?
Yeah, Joey, we've been tracking this cell moving through Mississippi County and Arkansas, and we're actually getting reports from law enforcement of damage to First Baptist Church. That's in Kaiser. And we're also getting reports of a blown transformer, and y'all know that means that there's some power outages down there, and power lines and trees are both being reported down. So this is going to be near Kaiser. That's in Mississippi County. We've been tracking gusty winds, had a report of a 60 miles per hour wind gust, but we've also been tracking a tornado there. So we're going to be working hard while we're also tracking what's moving to find out exactly what caused that damage. But already seeing damage in the Mid-South, causing power outages in parts of Arkansas, and already seeing damage to buildings.
I was just talking to some of our producers. This is very, we got a brand new tornado warning. This one's going just north of Dyersburg. Let's see if that's clipping part of our counties there. It looks like it might be. It is clipping part of Dyersburg County. So our second active tornado warning inside the Fox 13 viewing area is leaving Caruthersville, Missouri, and it's going to clip just portions of the Fox 13 viewing area north of Dyersburg. But friends, I think you can still see us in Cloverdale and Caruthersville and Mason Hall. So let's make sure again that you are taking those critical steps for safety, that you're making sure that you are mobilizing your family, that everybody is tuned in, that you've got a safe place to go in your home. And I know you've heard this over and over, but when these times are unfolding, and I don't think you can say it enough, just get away from the windows. Get into an interior hallway. We don't want to disrupt your lives. We just want you to be safe. And so one of the best ways to make that happen, if you're seeing this unfold, and right now we're focusing near the Caruthersville area as this is moving towards Cloverdale and 155. So Dyersburg, think about how close this is. Cloverdale heading your way, but Caruthersville, it's right on top of you. We want to make sure that you are safe from high winds. And high winds means anything outside that's not staked down and heavy enough to support its own solidity, it could get airborne. And that's where the problems ensue. And that's why you get into an interior hallway, you get away from windows, because when we get these types of aggravated wind situations, anything is possible. And I probably, like many of you, remember this all too well from our Memorial Day event that just unfolded, where straight line winds in many cases just wreaked havoc. And as Patrick was just mentioning, we're hearing reports now of some transformers that are getting knocked down and are no longer active. I have a feeling that as that line gets closer to Memphis and our very densely populated regions, we're going to hear more of that begin to unfold, unless this thing, by some great gift, begins to weaken just a little bit. But we're still looking at rotation. So right now I want you to take cover in Ridgely, Cloverdale, Hornbeak. You've got roughly 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 20 minutes to Hornbeak. Obion, you've got about 23 minutes or so. Dixie, you've got just about a half an hour. But more of this is about awareness. And we want to start with the immediate focus, which is near Haiti, right near the Caruthersville area. That's where we're seeing most of our chances for the wind to begin shifting, and then going forward towards Hornbeak, Obion, Dixie. Patrick, you have a new update.
Yeah, I'm looking on Twitter, Joey, and I'm getting some information that there may be some potential damage to some hotels in the Osceola area. And as we've been talking today, we've been telling you about this tornado warning that was centered just outside of Osceola. So potentially not confirmed at all by any stretch of the imagination, but we are watching that area as that tornado warning is still moving. And actually looks like we just may have lost, I'm going to refocus for us real quick. Looks like we may have lost the southern tornado warning, but we are still tracking a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Haywood, Lauderdale, and Mississippi County, that edge of Mississippi County in Arkansas. So that damaging wind is still a potential threat as we are monitoring this storm as it moves eastward.
All right, so let's just to recap what Patrick was telling you. Our southern the southern tornado warning. We had 2 that were active. The one that was near Covington and Dyersburg, that one has been allowed to expire. Our second one we had just talked about near Dyersburg, it is still active. And our severe thunderstorm warning for the storms and rain that's about to sweep across the river into downtown Memphis, that's active as well. But let's put that back into reflectivity for a moment, Patrick, if we can. I want to say an encouraging word here. The storm system's moving rather quickly. So as it gets by, as we focus on this primary line, this is the primary line we've been talking about for several days. We really brought into sharp focus last night on Fox 13 News at 5, 6, 9, and 10. Time this out for you. And it is happening almost exactly to the minute. I think we had it pegged to be in Memphis at 7 to 8, and it's 6:35 now. I said it would get into our northern counties around 5 to 6, and it stayed right on track, and now we're seeing it come into Memphis. And friends, a severe thunderstorm warning is a serious event when it's packing these types of winds. Keep in mind, as Patrick was telling you, I know this. I've lived here a long time. I grew up in Raleigh. I went to University of Memphis State. Many of you at home who are currently maybe not affected are going, what? It's a rainstorm. I've seen rain. What are you doing on my TV set? Well, let me explain to you. It's a little different from being just a rainstorm. We're getting 70+ mile-per-hour winds. And one of the major threats from a hurricane, from a tornado, from a straight line system like Hurricane Elvis, it's those strong winds. And 70 miles per hour will peel some things away. And we've been hearing damage reports all night. Patrick, you got something new?
Yes, Joey. I actually just got a confirmation from the National Weather Service, but that damage to that hotel near Osceola was due, in fact, to that tornado. Right now, there is a search and rescue mission that's underway, and the roof was ripped off of that hotel, and it looks like that hotel may have sustained some other considerable damage due to this storm. So we're tracking a tornado that's actually doing some serious damage to that community near Osceola. And outside of that, we're also getting damages of breezy, gusty winds, gusting 60 miles per hour, once again knocking over vehicles, knocking over trees, downing power lines, and of course causing some power outages.
Let's go right back there then. Let's zoom right back into the Osceola area. I want to get back into our tornado zone, because when I hear things like that, we're now getting confirmation of a search and rescue at a hotel. Well, this is ongoing. So let's go further up to the north. Let's get closer to Osceola, Arkansas. Osceola, right now, to Ashport. This is where it unloaded earlier. Right now, you're on the backside of that. So hopefully, so keep in mind, if there's a search and rescue happening here, as we just heard, they're still dealing with heavy rains. They're still dealing with lightning strikes and heavy winds. Patrick, now let's go back up further north to that active tornado warning, because I know that they're canceled. It was. Okay, let's zoom back out a minute. Let's take a look at that. No, the one that's near Dyersburg. Okay. That one is still active. Let's zoom into that one. This is still affecting us. This is just outside of Dyersburg, and so as we're looking at this, keep in mind, Caruthersville to Ridgely to Elbridge, along, again, Dyersburg, not too far away to 155. We just heard reports that came through the National Weather Service that a hotel was damaged in Osceola. They believe it's attributed to this storm and a potential tornado that was part of this system, and now there may be a search and rescue there. I'm hoping that same thing is not unfolding right here, but that's why we're on the air, in case we've got one on the ground from Ridgely to Caruthersville near 181. Let's go back to, hey, while we're here, Patrick, let's turn that into storm relative. I want to see if we're getting any clear indications. So anytime we see green to red, so what you're looking at as an explainer, when we turn it to what's called a storm relative velocity, and you see green to red, this is Doppler radar actually measuring and gauging the winds that are going towards the radar or away from the radar. I believe the green is going towards the radar and red is away from the radar. And so when you're starting to see that measurement and you get them together in these unique patterns, you're starting to show what could be the first indications of rotation. We're literally, amazingly, with technology, watching the winds as they turn inside a storm system and trying to gauge if we're beginning to see that deadly rotation that could strike the ground. So we're focused right now in the Ridgely area. This is going to be along 78. We've got some decent lightning there. Cloverdale, you're not too far away. Go ahead and get in your safe location. Make sure that everybody's okay and in a safe spot. The same exact information that I hope they heard on their TVs at that hotel in Osceola. I hope that folks were able to get to a location before winds caused some damage. So Ridgely, this is our Mississippi River. This black line is the dividing line between Arkansas and Tennessee. You can see our Mississippi River line, 78 going north and south along the river, and we're talking about Ridgely right now and all the surrounding areas. Caruthersville, you're a little bit more on the back side of this at the moment. and we're hoping for all the best in Caruthersville. You're still getting heavy rain there, but we're watching for where the winds could still be showing some rotation. And we want to make sure all along 78 from Ridgely to Cloverdale that we're taking precautions. So in the path of this right now, we're talking about Ridgely, which, again, now into the next 2 minutes, you need to be immediately in a safe spot. Into Minnick, 647, you've got less than 10 minutes. Lassiter Corner, less than 10 minutes for you, maybe right around 10 minutes. Hornbeak, just over 10 minutes to 15. And Roney's Store, less than 20 minutes or so before it gets in your vicinity. Please make sure you're in that safe location. And as this gets by, go take your phone, take a book. You can turn the TV up, take an iPad, whatever you've got. And just be in a location where even if the winds do decide to get extremely hazardous where you live, everybody's okay. All right, let's turn that back into regular precip mode if we can, Patrick, and let's kind of take the line down. Let's walk this down. And I want to say something else positive here. We're starting to see things get better in Arkansas. This line is now shaping up from the Missouri Boot Hill, going right down the Mississippi River, trying to cross out of Arkansas into Tennessee. And what time is it right now? It's a quarter till, 20 till 7. So we're almost exactly on a 7 o'clock arrival time in Memphis. So we've got our tornado warning just north of Dyersburg. Dyersburg has a severe thunderstorm warning coming out of Blytheville. Further south, Gates, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning that starts in Osceola, which is, I'm sure the Fox 13 news teams are trying to figure out right now how to get mobilized, and we're going to get some video from that region. I'm getting confirmation right now. We've got a team headed to Osceola. And let's pause here for a moment, because this is now where we're seeing the severe thunderstorm. It's getting across the river to the north near Millington, and it's very close in West Memphis, Arkansas. Can we punch up Skyfox for just a moment? We want to see if we've got any lightning strikes occurring. So Skyfox is now looking directly towards that line of storms. Things are quiet in downtown Memphis right now. In a few minutes, that's going to probably be obliterated with rainfall. You won't be able to see anything as the wall of water comes marching across the river. You can see traffic still flowing smoothly on the bridge. There's no problems there. But on the horizon, and I've looked at this long enough to know, you're looking at very dark and deep clouds there. You catch a little bit of the reflection from West Memphis as the light's there. And the lightning strikes, oh, there you go. That was a nice lightning hit right there. So we are beginning to see some lightning on the radar, on Skyfox, like we're seeing it on the radar. Let's go back to reflectivity for just a moment. So we're looking at this. Those are the lightning strikes you just saw. Our Skyfox camera right here by the bridge, looking just a bit to the north and northwest, and that lightning is moving through and moving towards Millington. So those lightning strikes you just saw, Millington, that's what's headed your way. And it will be there shortly. And in fact, we're going to do a track on that here in just a moment as well. Did we get a speed on this one, Patrick, this severe thunderstorm warning?
We're getting it right now for you. Right now, it is moving east at 40 miles per hour, so a little bit slower than a lot of the other storms that we've been tracking this morning, but this afternoon, but still moving toward our area. All
right, let's do this then. 40 miles per hour, and that's an interesting note. This one is not moving as fast, but we still have thick bands of rain. This is going to aggravate any slightly flooded areas or flooded areas, and we've got the lightning coming through as well. So a little bit slower than the 60 to 70 miles per hour, but still very fierce. And now let's put a track on there and let's see exactly who's needs to be prepared as this goes forward. Millington, Memphis, Rosemark. Okay, here we go. Hughes, 6:49. You've got about 7 minutes in Hughes, Arkansas. Then West Memphis. Portions of West Memphis are already looking at some of this, but I would say downtown West Memphis, you've got roughly 20 to 25 minutes just after 7 o'clock. Then on into Rosemark at 7:15, and again, that's almost 30 minutes. And again, Memphis, when it says 7:28, we're talking inside the loop, inside the central portion of the city, so it's going to hit downtown a little sooner than that. We will hopefully see some images on Skyfox. It's going to come roaring across the river. And then on into Germantown zone. And so near Germantown, you're talking Bartlett, Cordova, Lakeland. You're all pretty close to that north-south line around 7:44 in just about an hour. So last night, we told you to prepare for this line of storms to walk through Memphis around 7 to 8 p.m., and that's what's occurring right now. We are looking at some fierce lightning starting to build in Arkansas, and this rainfall is moving across from the north to the south. Let's take a little bit of a look to the south. Speaking of that, Patrick, I know we've got lots of folks down there who are dealing with storms as well. If we can just back that up and drag the radar up. So we are still seeing heavy rain and lightning from Forest City towards almost in West Helena. That's trying to get across the river as well. That's